G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the Legacy Evolution Devcon. Now, I will not lie, I never expected to get this character for myself, not only in toy form, but as in character in general. Um, I ended up getting it from a couple of months ago, before I started doing all the Armada reviews instead. I had this guy, and I had another figure which I won't get to yet. But I couldn't find him anywhere. I really wanted Devcon. Couldn't get him anywhere. Couldn't find him at any of the normal retailers. Couldn't find him online. Couldn't find him at any of my usual hotspots. And a guy I know says to me, Dave, there's another store, and they've got figures as well. Have you ever heard of them before? I'm like, no, never heard of them. So I looked them up, and all right, they've got some third party, they've got some mainline. Wonder what they got in the mainline. Because I've already got plenty of pre-orders of third party at this point, so let's do some mainline searching. And I'm going through there, and they had Kingdom Rodimus, which I still haven't bought. I still don't know a huge fan of the vehicle mode, but one of these days I might give in because God knows how long it's going to take for fans toys or even X-Transbots to do a proper Rodimus. I know DX9 did carry, but that's back then. I didn't like the figure out. Anyway, so I'm going through it, and I found my Armada Megatron, same location. And I think one of the last pages, I found Devcon. They had 3 left. And I'm like, I've got to buy it. I got to get Devcon. I'm sure one day we will get a third-party representation, but for now, I need a Devcon for my collection. So I ordered him, I got him, and he's been on my shelf ever since, and I just haven't got around to reviewing him. But there is one extra cool thing about this. If I pull him back a little bit and have a look at the box. Now, you'll notice that it has this black sticker on it in Japanese, of all things. Also, if you look at the back of the box, there is another sticker, all in Japanese. So, obviously, I'm assuming, don't quote me on it, I'm assuming this was a Japanese release. Well, it was released in America, shipped to Japan, and relabeled because we've got Takari Tomy here. Got other things up here. I want to say that's on the normal box too. Oops, you can't even see that. I want to say that's on the normal box too. I can't quite sure. But yeah, I just found it rather bizarre that I'm guessing that the owner of that store also had trouble getting Devcon locally. Maybe they never even released him locally and had to actually order him from overseas to get him. And thankfully he did, or they did, I should say. I don't know whether the owner is male or female, despite the point. But I finally got one. So I was really happy. There was 3 left. I don't know if there's any left now, but because that was a couple of months back. But yeah, so I'm really happy. The blue is really nice. The silver, the red, it slightly feels like a slightly inverted Optimus. Also, and I don't think I'll ever buy the figure because I'm not quite into it. I've always had this theory that either they interacted or they're sort of what's the word? They're basically they work against each other. I always thought that Devcon and Death's Head were like they were in competition with each other. I don't know if that's true. I didn't read any of the most of the Marvel comics or anything. Actually, I didn't read any of the Marvel comics. I've only got a couple and a couple of G2s. I did see that Death's Head did get released, but the character's not important enough to me and is too damn expensive for me to justify getting it. But this is from Legacy Evolution, which I think I've got more than a few figures from now. Honestly, and he does look really good. I do really like him. I wish he was a bit bigger. I wish he was going on leader instead of, what is he, Voyager? Maybe? I think. I want to say Voyager. Oh no, my sizes are all over the place at the moment. Somehow I got into topic the other day about Scout class. Anyway, so it does look really, really good. He does have his evolution gimmick, which I've only recently started understanding what it is, and it's just basically parts forming stuff. So, but he does look really good. This is usually the pose I have him standing in, so it looks like he's trying to take someone down. Maybe he's after Swindle. Everyone's after Swindle. So, you do have a little... Oh, but another thing I forgot to mention, my box has 2 sets of instructions, all in English with a Japanese sticker on it, but yeah, I got 2 for some reason. Anyway, so for his Evo gimmick, and I'm having to have a look at the back of the box because I can't remember how this works properly. You can take these off. These come in like this out the box. And what you can do is take this out of his hand, which I was going to say, I thought I had his hand upside down. Anyway, what you do is you take this, and I'm just looking at which way this is actually showing on the box. You plug this in here. You plug this in here, and now he has an arm-mounted blaster, basically. Now, I'm trying to think if Devcon was in Season 3 or Season 2. Part of me wants to say 2, but because of the bot mode, but, you know, he could have been 3. But yeah, he can do the whole let's call it Megatron, because Galvatron's gun was more up here. He can do a sort of a Megatron blaster thing. Oops. Obviously, you can pull these apart and, you know, use them in 5mm ports and whatnot. I admit these holes in the bottom I thought were for a purpose, but not really. So we're just going to put those out the side for the moment. So let's get down to articulation. Head can do a full 360. It can't look up. It can look down a little bit. I think I was going to say it's more transformation. For transformation, you can actually, I don't even think I can, should be able to pop that. No, the head stays still. I thought from there it popped back. Also, you know, that is definitely a blur mohawk. Arms can do a full 360. You'll have to move it out of the way of the backpack. Arms go out that far. We have, let's call that elbow rotation, because it's really the elbow that's twisting. Just below, that say about the 9 degrees. Wrists don't rotate, which I'll show you why. No fingers, no thumbs. We do have a waist rotation, no ab crunch. Legs go out that far, go forward that far, go back that far. I've got no ratchets yet. That knees go that far, so there's no ratchets in this guy. Feet are a little bit iffy-ish. Angle tilt goes in that far. Obviously sits that far. And you do have a ratchet for his feet, but it goes up, and that's more for transformation. So there we go. Now, ports. Before I forget. One here, one here. One here, one here. Those 2 there. These 2 here, which is where these were obviously sitting. You have these 2 here for this mode. I think that's it. I think the rest is in vehicle mode. All right, let's get this guy transformed. So let's see. We're going to fold the arms out a little bit. Actually, let's do the hands first. Now, I swear I don't know who did this first, Cyclonus? Well, I assume it would be Kingdom Cyclonus because it came out first. But you pull these back to reveal the hands and the thruster. That's why there's no rotation there, because of this. So that rotates around and in, and I suppose if you really, really wanted to, you could put a blast effect on that, and you could use that as a weapon too. But yeah, so Kingdom Cyclonus's hands got a second use with Devcon. So get that around. If you have difficulty getting past here, just go around the other way. All right, so I'm going to keep his arms out. I'm just trying to remember which way things tab in. We'll do the legs first because I know where things will go then. But first, I'm just going to untab his backpack. So these 2 tabs plug into here. I'm not going all the way. I just want to get the legs out of the way first. All right, so you're going to flip up the heel very carefully. Is a soft ratchet there? I'm more worried about the ankle tilt, honestly. You're going to fold, I think you fold the front of the, is it the front? Yeah. You want to have the front of the legs. Now all these can stay plugged in if you want. And just for the sake of argument, that would have been plugged in this way. When you get it into vehicle mode, you have to swap their sides. So just be aware of that. All right, so I'm trying to think if we have to rotate the waist. Do we? No, we don't. Because it's going to fold. Weirdly, it's folding back on itself. All right, so fold these out. And we'll tab his, would have been easier to tab his legs in first. Actually, we'll do that last. Anyway, I'm getting weirdly all over myself. So fold up. Then we can tab these together. Just make sure this is out of the way. This is why I wanted to do the legs first, because these arms will be in the way otherwise. So this tab and this tab will go into those two where the backpack went in. So it's going to come around and you tab, come around. Just make sure things line up nice and snug. Now we're going to do the arms, because what's going to happen is you have this port here that's going to go on to this peg here. So just rotate it so it lines up and plug in. Rotate and plug in. Now we bring all this up over his head and you have these two tabs that are going to these two ports, like so. And then these two tabs are going to plug into these two. Is it those two? Yes, those two ports. Now it's double thing, so you might end up untabbing his shoulders again. Bring down, plug that in, like so. Then you take your thrusters and you go vice versa. It's basically this bit of plastic here that's going to go up against here, like so. And if you really, really, really want to, you can use the peg under here. Also, by the way, pegs on the side of the gun. And there is Devcon in his alt mode, which, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, he didn't have in the G1 cartoon. I'm still trying to remember if it was season 1 or season 2 or 3. I know he's always a 1, but I'm just trying to remember if he was part of the one where the Autobots were trying to get back onto Earth after being launched somehow into space. I'm trying to remember how that worked. I remember the episode where the child alien put him in the rocket was really weirdly shot. But yeah, here is Devcon. I'd like to think he's sort of a speeder more than a ship. Maybe this is some sort of a cockpit, a seat. Although he does give me, obviously, and I'm sure you too, he is giving me Blur vibes. Very much Blur vibes. Now, of course, with the gun, you can plug them here. If you want, you can move these thrusters onto here. You know, it's entirely up to you. Plus, now we have, of course, oh, by the way, there's ports there and those two there. But it does look pretty good. I do really, really, really like him. I do have him in robot mode, I admit, but he does look good in alt mode. As for size comparison, there he is with Windblade. So she's a smidgen longer if you don't go by the gun underneath. So there is that. All right, so let's get this guy back into robot mode. I'm going to... I'm doing a lot of in this episode, aren't I? I will show you that you can do it in robot mode, but you're ultimately going to swap these around. So, yeah. So, pull that out. And we're going to do the... Actually, we'll do the head first. So, we can flip this piece up and fold that up. Also, if you really wanted to, and it'd probably affect the arms a little bit, you could actually use it as a head. So unplug here, and we just lift our arms out. Get that out of the way, and we just want to slightly pull on those feet and then fold out. And then we can fold down. Obviously, we have not unplugged yet. And just articulate so our knees are in the right spot. Bring these back in. So the knees will go over the top. Bring our feet back. Just watch those joints. Don't do it too hard. And we can split our legs. Now, if you'll notice, now our thrusters are pointing up, and it looks really, really odd to me. Also, the fact that this gap in the plastic is a lot more visible. So yes, you can transform it without pulling it apart, but for the sake of the look, I like to swap them over. Admittedly, yes, the visibility is still there, but this hinge is hiding it a lot better. So plug that back in. We can bring our arms down for now. We're going to flip this back, and this is all going to hinge down, so it's double joint. I want to say these also sort of sit in here, but it's this and this to plug into here. So, like so, and they just sit to the back. And we're almost done. And it's the same problem I had with Cyclonus, trying to figure out which way the hand turns. So rotate that, plug that back, and that way. Rotate that, and plug that back. And there is Devcon back in his robot mode, and I can have fun trying to get him back into his pose later on after I get focused. Size comparison, because I really don't have anyone really else to compare him to. There he is with MP10. So there we go. Yeah, going from the top of the head, he's just about over Prime's crutch. So there we go. And of course, you can have parts effects and attach all that lovely stuff. So there we go. But yeah, I was really, 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 really happy that I found this guy. For a minute there, I thought he had Titan ports too. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment, and bye for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.